Our seventh wonder takes us to sea. Wonder, the wonderful world of Disney, afloat. In fact, that's the name of this ship, the Disney Wonder. She and her sister ship, the Disney Magic, are designed to give families the vacation of a lifetime. For the Catronio family, it was.
Disney Wonder welcomes the Catronios. And did that make you feel special?
Yeah.
We're in a world where everything is, in a way, make-believe. Because you have no responsibilities, they cater to all your needs. The outrageousness about the ship made me feel like you weren't really real.
The send-off is a big party. On board, you're in the world of your wildest dreams. The sugar plums and ice cream and every delicacy you can imagine have already been loaded on the ship.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Your every meal has been thought out in the greatest detail, and an army of more than 900 crew members are ready to gratify your every wish.
Okay, guys, come on.
You were given a waitress, and then she would follow you from restaurant to restaurant each evening. She got to understand what it is that you liked and what you didn't like, and she'd have that there ready for you.
And in Fantasyland, there is not even a hint of mess or dirt.
You would touch the button in the elevator, and you'd ride it an hour later, you'd never see your fingerprint. It was like ghosts were walking the ship and cleaning it while you were walking around.
Even the weather seems to be under some sort of mystical control.
We started heading towards a rain cloud, and when we got near it, the captain steered around it, so there was no rain.
They try to make everything perfect on the Disney cruise, and the company's 2 cruise ships are floating pleasure palaces. These 964-foot cruise ships weigh more than 85,000 gross tons and are almost as long as the Empire State Building is tall.
It's massive. We walked in, I had no idea where we were, like what floor we were on. I just thought, well, we're on the bottom of the floor.
The ships have 11 passenger decks and can take on over 2,700 guests and have anchors that each weigh as much as 3 elephants. But who cares about elephants when the mightiest animal in the world of Disney is a mouse? This annoying household pest has been turned into a lovable American icon, and here on the cruise ship, there are mice almost everywhere. Pleasure cruises used to be the exclusive domain of the upper classes. On grand ocean liners that were symbols of national prestige, well-heeled passengers could relax on deck, enjoy fine dining, and the occasional game of shuffleboard. Walt Disney and his wife were familiar with life aboard the big ships of yesteryear and even spent their honeymoon on a transatlantic cruise. But those days are gone. Cruises have become a pastime so democratic that every year 5.5 million people voyage just for the pleasure of it. And the newest passengers on vacation cruises are children.
Relaxing on a vacation with any children is kind of contradictory. How do you relax? You're always thinking, are they safe? Are they happy?
Children and relaxation? Disney solved that contradiction and made family cruising a success with 2 ships dedicated specifically to youngsters and their parents. Still, 800 to 1,000 children in a confined space like a ship can be a terrifying thought for many people, but not on the Wonder.
Children can be checked into a program from 9 o'clock in the morning right up until after midnight.
Happy, bashful, soapy.
Younger ones, the 3 to 5s, they love when we have the character appearances. The older kids enjoy the lab.
But only so much. There are about 50 counselors to mind the kids.
I think if a child was to disrupt whatever the routine was, I think, what are they going to do with that child? They would just, hum a merry Disney song and just pick it up and go along their way.
Who's your favorite Disney character?
Everything, from the services to the architecture of the ship, has been done with kids and their parents in mind.
Our ship is designed to cater to the entire family. We want to make sure that we have spaces for the young as well as for the adults. And our management were asking us to design a floating resort. We didn't really know exactly what the ship ought to look like. So we thought that's going to be definitely going to be a challenge.
There were several funny-looking designs before the engineers arrived at a look that recalls the elegance and gracefulness of classic cruise ships, complete with the two funnels, and some surprising twists. And we don't just mean the Disney figures everywhere.
Most of the ships you see today has only one funnel. What we wanted to do is introduce the second funnel to give that balanced look. The one in the front is a fake. It's just for visual, reasons, not for functional reasons. And we were able to put the ESPN, bar up there, as well as part of the water slide into the Mickey pool.
The two ships are virtually identical, but the Disney Magic was actually built in two halves in two different shipyards in Italy, 100 miles apart. After 6 months of non-stop construction, the Magic's front end was ready to meet her better half. Ocean-going tugboats towed the massive bow section up Italy's coast toward Venice at the speed of 3 knots per hour. It took over 2 days before the two sections were within sight of each other. The stern section, flooded with water, lay on the bottom of her berth as the front drew closer, very slowly. After much careful maneuvering, the two halves finally became one whole. A nicely painted hull equipped with only the barest of essentials, the ship was ready for a sea trial and a test of the engines.
One of the unknowns that just tickled me to death was hearing how quiet the ship was. Stepping off to the bridge wing and listening to the sound of the water swishing by just like you're on a sailing ship. It was wonderful.
The passengers on a Disney cruise barely have time to listen to the water. There are so many activities on board.
Once again, thank you for joining us. Welcome aboard the beautiful Disney Wonder.
The entertainment department on board the Disney ships is the largest anywhere in the world at sea. But the great thing about going on a cruise is people have an opportunity in participating in what you've got to offer, or they can go to the other extreme, which means they can sit back, relax, and do nothing at all. I've always said it's always much better to offer too much rather than too little.
While the children do whatever they want, the adults can get a massage or enjoy one of the many clubs. There is no end to the possibilities.
Okay, girls?
To many of the passengers aboard the Wonder, the most interesting part of the ship has nothing to do with that lovable rodent.
7 Wonders of America is brought to you by Royal Caribbean. Check out RoyalCaribbean.com and get out there. And
Wonderful attractions aboard the Disney Wonder were not designed to entertain the passengers, but that's what they do.
We went to a behind-the-scenes tour of the bridge. Part of the tour, you had a chance to see the entire bridge.
Midship.
How they drive the ship.
Other midship now, sir.
All the radars involved with the ship.
170, please.
The bridge and the control room are the heart of the ship.
From here, we can control all the systems, all the equipment, all the machinery. Let's have a look at the ballast system. When we move from Port Canaveral to Nassau, we travel with 4 engines online.
My little daughter Marissa asked if Mickey steers the ship. And they told him, yes, he does, but right now he was busy running a party downstairs.
Found it constantly. What's going on? What are we going to do next? Okay, let's look at the agenda. Okay, what can we do for the kids? What can we do for us? Every time you turned around, there was something exciting happening.
The excitement doesn't stop when you sit down to dinner.
As they experience through the entire course of the dinner, that we will subtly evolve the black and white experience into full color. So while you're eating, when the dessert comes out, the waiters and waitresses would flip their vests over and into full color.
With so much going on, you could almost forget that you're at sea.
I think I always remembered that I was on a ship. Got a little bit of seasickness.
The water's getting rough.
So that part I did know I was on a ship.
There is relief, though. The ship docks in the Bahamas at Castaway Cay. Castaway Cay is Disney's private island for the exclusive use of cruise passengers. Once on terra firma, many people take the opportunity to relax on the beach and work on their tan.
I'm on the family beach. My family is here enjoying amenities, and I'm reading my book.
This is unbelievable. No humidity, nice breeze, low 80s, perfect conditions.
For the energetic souls, there are plenty of activities for children and adults and children together.
Started out the day actually doing a little snorkeling.
And guess what the swimmers and divers found on the bottom of the ocean? Surprise! In addition to a Disney shipwreck and a sunken treasure, there are ordinary fish without mouse ears in the waters around Castaway Cay.
I'm feeling tired right now.
Now I'm really ready to go back to the ship, take a shower, and get ready for the night.
Once the children are in bed in the staterooms, the parents can go back to enjoying themselves upstairs, safe in the conviction that they are on board a ship that can't sink.
Tell them this is the safest and the best place to be at this point in time. Ship is built safe, she is very safe, she is state-of-the-art. So it has changed a lot since the times of Titanic.
But some people are hard to convince.
I purposely counted how many lifeboats there were.
There are no icebergs on the horizon and plenty to do all night.
I used to go out 24-hour coffee club or walk around the top of the ship, go to different restaurants or clubs. I never have enough.
But all good things must come to an end. Some people had had enough.
There's Mickey. Hi, Mickey. There's Minnie. And I get bored of them. I want to go back, play with my toys there, and jump on my bed and scream.
Others wanted more.
I wish I had more time. I wish we got to stay on the ship a little bit longer. The best part, I think, of the cruise was the fact that each one of us could have our own separate vacations, yet be on a vacation at the same time. I think my husband was upset to leave the ship. He really loves the water and he loves the ocean.
The thing I didn't want to see happen was when I had to walk down the gangplank to leave.
They will never forget their cruise aboard one of the 7 wonders of America.